Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you with Nina the Mystic and Delamore Suchi. Thank you for coming on. And you know the reason why we're having this big show tonight? We're supporting Nina with the Ana Karana shirt and hat tonight because poor Nina, she lost her channel. She got a strike and poof, everything was gone. So tonight we're going to hope that you all go out there and sub to her new channel. She's not giving up. She's going to hit it harder than ever before. And we're going to get all her subscribers right back. We're going to spread the word. So like, share, and subscribe. Go over there. Sign up. You can say you were the first. Well, maybe not the first guy, but you can be right in there on the top 10. How about that? Anyway, yes. What do y'all got to say? Nina, why don't you go ahead and explain a little bit what's going on?
Well, so we knew we were kind of, chancing it there with the Horns of the Goddess, right? Series, so I guess the Ozark Publishing, found our stuff or whatever. And I didn't just get one strike. I think I got like 16 strikes. Like I was gone, like all my channels that I had on that email. So yeah, it's all taken down, but I'm already feeling it. Like one door is closing, but I'm seeing many doors opening. And to be honest, I was talking a little bit before we went on here, but to be honest, like I've been sort of procrastinating on a lot of these things. Like now I have a proton mail. Well, I've been saying that for years. I'm going to get a proton mail, and get away from the Gmail, get away from this. I've been preaching it, but I haven't done it, and I was just lazy, it's what it is. Right. So now this has forced me to go and do all these things that, I've been saying I was going to do, and same with the whole Rumble and Odyssey, all my stuff is still up there. So for those of you who are interested in watching the old shows, you can still go up there and watch them and start going live up on those places instead, and try and get away from the YouTube and the Google and all of that. So this is kind of just making me do it. It's sometimes the universe will do that, in order to get us going, because otherwise we just sit there, And so, I'm already feeling like a relief, honestly, to have it gone. And another thing too, if I can go live on this channel, which I'm hoping to, it's brand new email. That's the trick. You got to get a whole brand new email. And then I got a brand new channel now, which means I've lost my premium thing. They don't even know who I am now. And I have no suggestions on what to see. Like I'm brand spanking new. Like it's a whole new start, like a fresh start, and we just had the equinox, we got the eclipse tomorrow night, full moon, and so and I haven't even done the ritual yet, so I'm already seeing all this new stuff happening. Like that's exactly what the ritual is all about, is blasting open doors, and sometimes when you want to go in some new directions, you have to leave some other directions behind, So that's kind of what's happening here already. I haven't even done the ritual yet, but it's starting to manifest already for me, and it was yesterday it was a bit of a shock, but now that I've, meditated on it and, stuff on it and starting to see, like, it's like, wow, it's like a whole new start again. So, and I've already been on Patreon, of course, for years. I think I was one of the first people that signed up for that Patreon. I'm grandfathered in over there. And so I'm going to be utilizing Patreon a lot more. I'm going to be doing Hump Day over there. So basically all my mystical stuff will be over on Patreon. And Patreon is actually free. It's changed over the years. There's a lot of new things up on Patreon now. And one of them is that you can sign up there for free. And I do post, like right now, we're going live on Patreon, on my Patreon right now. So if you were a Patreon subscriber, you will get notified in your inbox that, hey, guess what? Nina's going live right now on Patreon, and you'll guarantee to get that notification, not like YouTube, where it's hit and miss and all this kind of stuff, right? So I really like it for that. And I'm just going to have all my, my Hump Day message will be over there, all that kind of stuff. So everything will be sort of the same over there kind of thing. But so if you're enjoying Hump Day and you want to still see that, it's still going to be free. You just got to join me up on the Patreon, and I'll throw a link in here. Of course, I did see that you put all my links down in the description as well. That's greatly appreciated. But yeah, so sign up for the free Patreon there. And then, of course, we got Gilded and Odyssey. Those are also free. Like I said, all my stuff's up there. I might go live up there, especially for all the truth seeker stuff. Rumble is probably the best place to do that. You know, so why chance it up on YouTube when you can just go on to Rumble in the first place and you don't have to worry about censorship? I've seen other people, they're getting a lot more views over there because we're not shadow banned. So I might actually find that I'm going to get a lot more subs and views and all that kind of stuff over there if I go live over there than I was ever getting on YouTube because I was so shadow banned. And so it's going to be interesting to see with this new YouTube now. Am I going to be shadow banned or not? Am I going to be able to go live? We'll find out tomorrow. I guess there's a 24-hour window there from when I asked to cross post from here. So we'll see tomorrow. And if that's the case, there might be a whole new YouTube thing going too, where I'm not shadow banned, which means that my stuff will actually get seen. I might actually start growing, and you know, like it really is like new doors opening here for me. That's how I'm feeling, you know, today. So, yeah, I hope you guys are with me. Subscribe to the YouTube, whether I can go live or not, and then sign up for the Patreon for free. You get a lot of my content there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yay! Woohoo! 4 subscribers! Yay!
It's going to be great. Elmore, what do you got to say to all this? What about censorship? I know you've gotten censored before.
Well, yeah. I mean, I put up one solitary video on my YouTube channel under the Sun Rabbit channel, and that was a recording that we did called Digging Deeper, where we talked about transhumanism, where it was me, Teresa, Karen, a couple of other people, and we were talking about the implications of like AI, transhumanism, and stuff like that. And it got taken down, and I had a strike issued in less time than it would have taken to view the video. In other words, within 45 minutes, and the video was an hour and a half long. So I wound up posting it to my Minds page and my BitChute page, and it lives there to this day and accumulating views as we speak. So, you know, I decided to go with BitChute because at that time, which was about a year and a half ago, a lot of people were transitioning from either going from YouTube to BitChute or YouTube to Rumble. And at that time, I felt BitChute was kind of more popular because you had some people that I follow, like, I don't know, Max Egan. He posts a lot to BitChute, not so much to YouTube anymore. And same with Cliff High. He's also on BitChute, as well as other people that I follow. So that's the reason why I went with that. But Rumble is also increasingly a popular platform to post on. And it seems, I didn't read the terms and conditions, but when you do read the terms and conditions for YouTube, they are so vague on purpose and designed basically to be able to screw anybody whom they don't like.
And they keep changing it all the time. We just
they keep changing it, yes,
right? Because we're not going to sit there and read all the things. But yeah, they're adding things like almost daily. You know, depending on what's going on in the world. We'll talk about that. We can't talk about. We can't keep up with all this. You know, like it's just ridiculous. We need, and I've been saying this for years. You guys know that. You know, we need to move over. Let's move over. But nobody's doing it until we have to, right? Until we're literally get kicked out, and then it's like, okay, fine. I guess I'll move over then. But yeah. I can't wait to go live and not have to worry about what we're saying. You know,
yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, they do keep changing the terms and conditions because at first you can talk about the injections. You had to use code words. And then you couldn't talk about even before that. You couldn't talk about men going their own way movement, the MGTOW movement that was banned. Why? Because of one psychopath who happened to be into that, who killed a whole bunch of people, so they automatically imputed that anybody who was into that had the potential to be a psychopath. I'm talking Elliot Rodger. So, you know, it's just a comedy of errors that would actually be funny had it not had actual tragic consequences for video creators that put in all this effort, all this time, and only to have it all taken down.
Yeah.
Well, remember, everything has been backed up on Odyssey for sure. I know I'm really thankful all my stuff goes right to Odyssey too, because, if nothing else, I can go back and pick and choose and maybe download them and then repost them if I had to start a new channel.
Mhm.
I mean, it's kind of a safety thing. I mean, that's why I got a bunch of channels myself. I got um, the Milky Way channel. I got the Robert V Adventures channel, and I got the Stupid Talk, and Stupid Talk Daily channel. Thanks to Scotty Boy, and I managed to start each one of those with a different email so that they maybe that'll throw the scent dogs off my trail.
Mhm.
Hopefully, yeah, it's amazing though. What they know, and they can link you back from years, and whatever. And so, but yeah, no, that. I'm sure glad that I did that as well. Got the Rumble and the Odyssey. I have heard that BitChute because I was on BitChute too. I've heard that once your YouTube videos are down, they will also be down on BitChute. Is what I've heard. So I don't know. I haven't gone in there to check to see if that's the case. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to scrap that whole BitChute thing if that's the case. Then I don't even want to be on there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I notice a lot of people I myself I'm watching more videos on Rumble now than I've ever watched before because they have less commercials. They, there's more interesting. Tucker Carlson is on Rumble, and I can watch his video all the way through. Whereas when it's on their YouTube, it's commercial, and I'm constantly pressing that button unless I buy the premium. But it's like this is bullshit.
Yeah, you know what? I was buying the premium, but guess what? Like they're not getting my dollars anymore now. I'll go and spend that money that I would have spent there over on Rumble because I know I think it's about $10 a month to go live there or something like that. It is a little bit of a paywall, but you know what? I'll spend it over on Rumble rather than spending that $10 over on YouTube. So I hope you guys do too. Make sure you follow me there. All the links are down in the description, guys, on all the different platforms. So
yeah. Brandy says she had Roseanne on. I watched that today. Yeah. I thought that was really good. Roseanne's.
Awesome. I gotta see
think
that.
She's wearing a wig though.
Well, she didn't want to wash her hair today, I guess. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a wig too. Yeah, screw the whole hair washing all the time. Let's just get a wig on.
I think she's losing her hair. I've seen her without the wig on, and she's like half bald and stuff. And I thought, oh boy! And then she's got all this hair, and I'm like, oh, that's definitely a wig. But she's a little outspoken, and they censored her big time. Speaking of all of that,
she was always like that. Even back in the 80s, very like outspoken. That's kind of what put her on the map. Honestly, we liked it, right? The honesty and stuff. It was edgy back then. But she's always been cutting edge with that, like pushing it. And so I've watched a lot of her stuff. The only thing I don't like is when she starts with the whole God and all this kind of stuff. It's like, oh, there we go again. Yeah. But I'm trying to be open-minded a little bit, not to get triggered too much with that stuff, but yeah.
Well, they actually censor it not just for the creators but also for the viewers. Like you mentioned, all the ads. Well, there's ways of getting around that, and one of them is to use ad blocking software, which they don't allow. So what you have to do is you have to pretend you're from a country where they don't care. So I'm using a VPN, and I've configured that VPN to say that I'm in Mongolia. And I can use all the ad blocking software I want, and they just don't care. Nobody cares. So, but of course the VPN.
I got a VPN too. Yeah, I don't use it as much. I should maybe now that
I need it. I need it because here in Germany everything is censored. If it contains even a snippet of music that's copyrighted, that's been registered under BMG, which is like the music gulag dictatorship over here, then they'll censor it and you can't view it if you're in Germany.
Wow.
And same with like channels like RT, you can't view that. You can't even view their webpage. So until you download and use the VPN, you can't even see that content.
I guess that's probably why I don't really use mine, because I'm in Canada. I don't think there's that much stuff that's censored here. I don't know. But yeah, I should maybe go check out, like even Netflix, go and say that I'm in the States and see what is it that you guys are getting that I'm not getting. Because I'm sure there's got to be some, right? I should have utilized it more.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised at how much stuff opens up to you once you. because Germany is very censored. I never expected this when I moved here 13 years ago from Czech Republic. You know, in
Mhm.
Czech Republic, people would send me videos all the time. I'd click on it, it would open up no problem. But all of a sudden, I move here, and people would send me a video, and like, oh, can't view this content because it violates BMG or whatever. So
Hmm.
I was like,
They're probably
that's odd.
still a little bit from the whole war situation back in the day. Eh? You know, they're really
Well, not just that,
worried
but over
about it.
here in
Yeah.
Germany, they hit you up for about $50 a month. They have to pay for radio and TV, even if you don't
Yeah.
own a radio or a TV. I'm like, why would I want a radio or a TV?
I
I mean,
remember that we were paying for TV license over there, and they would go around and they could tell who had the TV going and who didn't. And so if
mhm,
you had to pay the bill, they know they'd come knocking on your door, like in
mhm,
Norway,
Wow.
right? So, but we didn't have any ads or anything, so that was the only way for them to make any money. So so when I came here, I was like, oh, you got commercials. I guess that means that you're not paying for your thing then. Oh no, we're still paying for a thing, but we have ads too. So it's like, oh, okay. That didn't kind of make sense to me. I didn't grow up with ads, so it was kind of weird. But yeah,
yeah, it's like why should I pay for my own propaganda?
Hmm.
Why
yeah,
should I?
I know,
Right?
I know. We're being screwed from one side to the other. I mean,
Hmm.
any way you look at it, yeah, yeah. We got to pay to be abused, So
Yeah, yeah,
That's the in their eyes. That's probably the best way. Make them pay for their own deaths. You
we'll pay
know.
for it too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And we keep upping it, upping it, and upping it. You know,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well, and that's the thing. In Germany, there, I guess you're censored, but I mean that's just the mentality of things. Kind of like being in China.
Yeah.
They have all these things that prohibit you to, well, not prohibit you, but if you can do them, but then you'll be censored. Your credit score will go down,
Yeah,
and you're
your social
censoring
credit
yourself.
goes
So
down. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
put the blinders on and you do what they say because you don't want to get those strikes. You want to be a better person over there. You want to get all the good things, and
Mhm.
so they don't need to have those locks and chains on you.
Hmm.
So that you're free to roam around the prison as long
Yeah.
as you do these things.
Yeah,
That's how
you'd
they're
be
going to
so.
get rid of the police force. They won't need police anymore because we'll police ourselves.
Hmm.
That's how it's going to be, and that's what they're doing over in China right now. It's working apparently. So
Yeah,
that's what's coming.
you'd be
Yeah.
surprised as to how repressive it is to live here. That's why I want to go back to Czech Republic. I don't want to stay the rest of my life here. Like I was shocked when I discovered that like all the
Yeah.
stores here in Germany close at 8 p.m. All the
Did
stores,
you
every
watch our
single.
show with the Deagle report?
No, no.
Well, the Deagle report for Germany does not look good at all. Like
Oh,
Germany,
I know
UK,
about
like,
I know
ooh,
yeah I
ooh,
know about the figures. Yeah,
yeah,
Germany's population is supposed to go down by like three
a
quarters.
lot.
Yeah, by
Yeah,
like
I would get out of
75%.
there if I was you.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
for
what I'm
sure.
doing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing. But
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to
uh,
be any better, but
So speaking
it's
of that,
or like Sundays, you can't do any work on Sunday, even if it's
yeah.
work on your own house, and even if it's quiet work. Like my uncle, he was fined for just moving one pile of sand from one corner of his property to another, using no
Wow.
mechanical tools, just a shovel and a wheelbarrow, and he got a fine because he was working on a Sunday because this is a Christian country, and
oh,
don't forget it, damn it.
God
And that's
rested
why
on the seventh day.
that's why yeah that's why like over here when instead of saying guten tag like they do in Austria or Switzerland, they say grüß Gott, right, especially here in this part of Germany, which is called Bavaria. So it's heavily religious and not free at all. The only
Mhm.
places that are open past 8 p.m. are gas stations, and all the stuff that they sell there, like food or whatever, is super overpriced.
Mhm.
So no, you don't have as much freedom here as you would think.
No,
yeah,
I know. I
but
grew up in Norway, so I hear you.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Isn't
know
it
how.
amazing though? Czech Republic butts right up to Germany, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh-huh.
But isn't that so funny? You can just walk across. I mean, you can get across the border, and then the whole world changes just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, over there, you can own a gun. I mean, I have a concealed carry license for a weapon in Czech Republic. As a matter of fact, if you want to, you can actually at some gas stations buy a gun right at the gas station.
Wow.
If should you decide to rob the gas station, that might not exactly be the smartest thing to do because the attendants are armed as well. So,
Yeah, but then what are the gun laws in Germany?
well, over there, basically, if you feel that your life is being threatened, you have the right to use deadly force. You
In
have no.
Germany, though. In
No, I
Germany,
mean,
what?
no, I'm talking Czech Republic. I don't know
Yeah.
Germany. I don't know. They confiscated my guns here in Germany, actually.
Oh, well, there you go. That's the answer I'm looking for.
There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to stay here. I don't want to stay
Yeah.
here
You
because
better get out of there. Yeah.
I'm a second class citizen, and they don't as a non-citizen, you do have the right to vote in certain elections, like local city elections. But I decided against it because, like for example, last year there was a measure here to build a new industrial park, right? And the mail-in ballot came made out in my name, and it said you have two choices, boxes this big, and one of them said, "Yes, no, I do not agree with the building of this industrial park." And the other option was, "Yes, I do agree with the building of this industrial park, and I agree with the destruction of a primeval forest and ecosystem, blah blah blah." And I was like, "I'm not filling this out. I'm not filling this out because what if like 50 years down the line they pull this out?" And say like, "Oh my God, in like 2021, you voted for the destruction of an ecosystem." you
Yeah.
know, no, I don't want to. I don't want to have that on my record. So no, plus I don't believe in democracy.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. I agree. There's see, and that's the thing. People get democracy and a republic,
Confused. Yeah.
confused.
Yeah, a democracy would be like, let's say I decided to open a restaurant, and I said, okay, well, just going to get 10 people in, and I'm going to take a vote. And you got two choices. You can either have hamburgers or Chinese food. So three people vote for hamburgers, seven people vote for Chinese food. Okay, so you three people that voted for hamburgers, you're screwed. You got to have Chinese food or nothing. That's what democracy is.
Yeah. 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 And people
And
don't
plus,
realize it.
it's complicated by the fact that most people out there, the voting public, they're not that intelligent. And you see that if my parents were involved in an HOA, right,
Mhm.
or a strata council, as they call them in Canada. And that is not something you want to get involved with because that's also run based on democratic principles. And when most of the people have this notion in their heads that it's going to be great if we like insulate the building, right? It's only going to cost like $1 million, and the savings are like unbelievable. Well, if you really do the math, it doesn't pay off. It doesn't pay, and it actually damages the structure of the building materials themselves because it creates a point between the insulation and the concrete where the moisture in the air reaches a dew point and you start getting mold in there and the mold starts attacking the concrete, and that's where you get the bricks start degenerating. So no, and if you convince all these people that are on the strata council to vote for like this insulation, even if you're like the voice of reason and you say no, here's the statistics, here's the facts, most people think emotionally and they'll vote to have this done, despite the fact that it's like totally unnecessary and useless.
Mm. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then of course you got, the democracy, and then of course you got the reigning emperor. It's kind of
Yeah,
like what happens here. You got these corporations like
like
YouTube, for
YouTube.
instance,
Yeah, except
and
that
they
yeah,
make,
they always
make the rules. And
yeah, they'll assert like, oh, private property, like, oh, it's a private corporation, they can make any rules they want. How private is it? I mean, when all that research and all that money, that seed money, came from DARPA, which was provided for by the American taxpayer.
yeah,
So how much
and
of a
and then
private corporation really is it?
And then the thing is shouldn't there be? This is my question, though, would be there should be some sort of rules. Like if you're operating a business, you should have like a plan, and then there should be rules to say, hey, you can't. If you're going to provide a public business, you have to keep it public. You know, if you're going to tell everybody you're going to have free speech, and then later on in the game, you say, well, you know, we're going to cut a little here and cut a little there, you know, well, there's no standard that says, okay, we're going to open this up to the public, and then you can put all these things out. Now, you want to join? Okay, great, I'll join. And then later on, well, you can't say this and you can't do that. You can't. We're going to cut it down. Pretty soon, you're in this narrow little gap. Well, we're the corporation. You know, this is a private company. We can make all the rules we want. Well, that's anyone to sign up for in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, this problem started, I would say, in the '80s under Reagan, when he deregulated all the corporations. I mean, government does have a legitimate role in society, and one of them is to keep those corporations honest.
Yes.
You know, most people, if they could, they would live their lives without major corporations. However, major corporations do things that small companies and mom and pop shops simply can't. Mom and pop shop can't build cars, airplanes, build bridges, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you know, there's a place for all that, but right now it seems that the corporations own the government, because they're actually them and China, the country of China, are actually who finances the U.S. national debt by buying all their certificates of deposit, T-bills, so forth. You know, without them, without their consent, the U.S. government wouldn't have any money to operate on, because governments, as a rule, don't have any money.
Yeah.
They borrow it. They borrow it from you.
And then, well, and you know, to say that our national debt, they were saying the other day, I was listening, that we're going to be paying more interest, almost as much interest as the payment now, and we ain't going to be able to. It's going to be the payment is the interest.
It's never going to get paid. It's never going to.
No.
Even if you were to tax the entire wage of every single person on the planet at 100%, it would take 200 years to pay that off. So at this point, does it make sense to even try to pay it off when that's just going to reduce your standard of living? No, because it is not repayable ever.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Not. And it's not just our country. It's all the countries are doing playing the same game. You buy my debt, I'll buy yours. You buy my debt. It's like playing hot potato. One of these days, somebody's going to drop the hot potato, and all the other ones are going to fall down because, you know, I need that hot potato. But you dropped the bill. You know, you dropped the ball, and I need that.
There's a couple of countries that don't have any national debt. As a matter of fact, the Isle of Man, they have it in their constitution that they cannot have a national debt. Then there's other countries that have never had one historically, like the United Arab Emirates, I believe Monaco, and a couple of others. But it does exist. But in my opinion, no government should have a national debt. None. They should issue a currency that's based on an actual asset that they control, and not that's controlled by a private corporation like a central bank. Because that basically what that does is it puts the government in the position of being just an intermediary, where yes, technically you're lending them the money, but actually it's the banks that are creating the money, and you're not only paying for it, but you're the security on it. You, the citizen, are the security on it, and you're paying the interest. So, you know, it's not a fair system, and but that doesn't mean, of course, that we have to scrap the whole thing. It just needs improvements, you know, and so hopefully we'll get there someday.
So, you know,
and as to censorship, the reason for that censorship is manifold. I mean, the United States is going through an economic crisis of unprecedented proportions. The country is practically on the verge of collapse. Historically, there is no republic that has lasted longer than about 250 years, and that 250-year mark is coming up in 2 years. Furthermore, you got the solar eclipse coming up, and it's going to be the exact ninth time that a solar eclipse has transited the continental United States like that,
Mhm.
which is significant. 9 being the number of completion.
Right.
Uh, then you have like social collapse, and censorship is actually a very serious thing, because censorship is the penultimate step before violence. It is the penultimate state that you get before the gulag, the concentration camps, all that shit.
Yeah, I know. The energy is getting intense. Like you can feel something's coming. Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
it's almost unbearable, to be honest.
More so in
It's
the United States than over here, because I'm not seeing any
yeah.
of that in Europe. Europe is
Yeah.
still like a doable, livable place. Like with an average salary in Europe, you still get 6 weeks of vacation. You make enough money to pay all your bills. You can't really live a life of luxury, but you can survive. You don't see homelessness here like
Oh,
you
it's
do.
so bad over here now.
I
It's
know it is.
unbelievable.
I've seen the
It's
videos.
well, we do have a lot of homelessness, and then we have the drug problem, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They're just it's horrible to watch. Like it's really an epidemic with the whole fentanyl and everything like that. Is a real epidemic. It's really
Yeah. And
yeah.
again, if they wanted to do something about that, they would have done something about that, because these drugs have been around for since forever. And how come it wasn't a problem just 10 years ago? How come it's a problem now?
Well, this fentanyl seems to be something fairly new, as far as I know. I mean, he's used in the medical system, of course. It is meant for a drug to use after an operation or whatever. But now they're lacing everything with it. And the hardcore drug addicts, they love it because they get that extra boost. But for other people who are not as hardened, they can't tolerate it, and they just seem to pass away. So
Hmm.
I had numerous childhood friends who have lost their sons to this,
Yeah.
and they're not bad kids, and it's really unfortunate. Like yeah, it could be preventable. Like
Yeah.
it's our own government that's bringing that stuff in and stuff, and always has been,
Yeah.
you
It
know.
is them. Yeah.
Um,
And it's the three-letter agencies that are doing it,
yes, yeah,
because that's what they really mean by black budget. By black budget means that they finance whatever business they're into with illicit activities like this.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, if we can just get rid of the governments, that's the thing. We need a whole new reset. We do need that.
Yeah, yeah,
We can
I
see
agree.
that, right? We're just not going to go the way that they think it's going to go, though. But
Hmm.
so
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's definitely in order, because just the fact that you've had unprecedented things happening, like a couple of years ago you had that Supreme Court ruling that says that you have no constitutional rights, because you are not, all laws are basically contractual, and since you didn't sign the Constitution, you are not a party to that contract. Which kind of makes you wonder about the whole Bill of Rights. Why is it called a Bill of Rights and not a Law of Rights?
mhm.
Muted. Muted. You're muted.
Who is?
Robert.
Oh, Robert, you're muted. Very
I
quiet there,
don't know.
Robert.
Muted.
Oh, hopefully his show's not getting taken down now.
Oh no, I put me on
Oh,
mute
here we
because
go. Okay, all right.
I had to go. I had to go check my banana bread in the oven.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hopefully it doesn't burn.
Nah, no, it should be good. It takes a while to cook. I'll go check it in a little while. But anyway, but anyhow, yeah, that's the thing is, oh gosh, what was I talking about now? You got me talking about banana bread, and I forgot the whole point of the. Whatever. Anyway, no, let's get Nina. She's got 10 subs now. Let's get her an even dozen at least. Come on,
Yeah,
people.
come
Come
on, kid.
on. We got a bunch of people in chat here. It says I got 30 viewers. Come on. We got to have, out of 30
Yeah,
people, we got to have 12 people sub.
yeah. It's
Put the
posted
link.
up in the live chat, but it's also in the description if you're watching this later. Okay, just go into the description. I know it's kind of lengthy because there's a lot of different links, but yeah, if you don't mind, following me on Rumble and Odyssey and Instagram, so far is good. I've gotten a warning from Facebook because I'm assuming that YouTube and Facebook, they're the same kind of people now. Then So immediately after I got off of the YouTube, Facebook started giving me warnings. And what happens is they say, okay, well, you got to do this here. Click on this, to whatever. You go and click on there, and you get to the end of it, and you're stuck. You can't go anywhere, and there's nowhere to get a hold of these people. So I'm assuming they just do that so that they can legally just take you out because you didn't respond. You got 24 hours, and it's been more than that now. And as far as I know, I'm still up on Facebook. So, and same with Twitter. So on Wednesday, I might just go live on Facebook and Twitter still. I'm still up there. And but I'll post up on Patreon what's going on, whether I'm going to go live on YouTube or if I'm just going to record. Maybe just go live up on Facebook, and then I'll take the Facebook show and I'll post that up onto Patreon or something like that. But you guys will definitely be getting Hump Day still for free on all the whatever platforms I can do it on. Okay. And like I said, Patreon is free as well. And I do post a lot of stuff up on there, and I will be doing a lot more now. As it's going to be my one-stop place. So instead of posting here and posting there and posting everywhere, just post it there. You'll have everything that's going on. I'll post all kinds of things up in there, and most of it is free. So just join us up there for free, and that's where you're going to find everything that I'm doing. I'll put it in the live chat again, and definitely Hump Day will be up there. So yeah. And I'll have to look into Rumble now. Then I might just do the Rumble thing because I was looking into that before, but I think it was that $10 or something that kind of made me turn around. But now that I'm thinking, I think it's worth it.
Well, there you go, Nina. We got you 12 so far. Woohoo!
Woo. Thank you, everybody who's subbing. Thank you. Hopefully I can go live on this channel. We'll find out tomorrow. Like I said, if not, I can record and put it up on Patreon. So
you'll make it. It'll come across. I got confidence.
Yeah.
I'll subscribe as soon as I turn on I go to my main computer. Yeah. No problem. But like I said before, a lot of my favorite creators on YouTube that got censored switched to either BitChute or Rumble, and that's why I think that's pretty much the better alternative. Because I don't like Facebook because Facebook requires you to be a member to view any of the videos.
I know.
Whereas with Rumble or BitChute, you don't have to be a member.
Yeah, so this is what, as a creator, we see that 50% apparently of our viewers aren't subscribed. And that's why, because you're on your phone, but in order for you to, you have to register and everything in order for you to like and comment or anything like that. So people don't bother, because I've done that too. And then all of a sudden you lose your video. And it's like, well, now, you know what I mean? So nobody bothers to sign in, which means that we're not getting the views. It doesn't register as a subscriber view anyways. It's a view, but it's not a subscriber. So it looks like our subscribers aren't watching, but actually they are, so
You know what the funny part is, all this is I know after this show, I've done shows like this, and it says I have 30 people watching, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and out of 30 people watching, I'll go to the how many liked, and it'll say, oh, you got 42 likes, and I'm thinking, I got 42 likes and I only had 30 people watching. What's wrong with this?
I know. I've noticed that too. I was posting up some stuff. Yeah, they're fudging. Then I'll go off too. I'll have tons of people in chat. I got all the views. Then I'll go off and I'll refresh the thing. It says 0 views. Oh, really? What about all the people who are in chat here? And I'll even go at half an hour later. I'll refresh it. 2 views. Really?
What?
And then I'll go later on. I'll be like, okay, so I got 70 views. Refresh it. Oh, we're down to 65 now. Really? So you can't go by the views at all on YouTube is so done. I'm so done with YouTube, honestly. But
jacking with the numbers, that's another form of censorship.
Yeah, well, they're doing this for the people who are monetized because they get paid by the views. So the more views on your video, the more YouTube has to pay you. Well, they don't want that. They don't want to pay you anything. So they're going to lower your views. And so, the bigger creators are really upset about this, because they're not getting paid what they should be getting paid. And
Yeah.
so this is what they're doing it, and we're noticing that because we're, 1 or 2 views is a big deal for us, a small channel. But, for the bigger ones, it's 10,000, 100,000. They can't even count, how many views they got. So,
Yeah, well, there's
yeah.
one YouTube channel that I follow called Deep Thoughts Radio, and on this one video that I was watching, the view count actually kept going down every
Yeah.
day. I'm like,
I
that
know
is
it's
mathematically
impossible.
impossible.
You can't
Yeah,
unview yourself, like,
you
so that
unview yourself.
you
I
can't unview
unviewed it.
yourself.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's ridiculous what they're doing. It's all a game,
Hmm.
and it comes down to numbers, of course,
Yeah,
or the money, right? Follow the money.
totally,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, and it's also a form of mental manipulation because one of the topics that's very censored that they don't even talk about is flat Earth. I mean, if you just do a
Yeah.
search on flat Earth, all you get is anti-flat Earth, right? I mean, yeah, anti-flat Earth.
Hmm.
That's all you get. You don't get any unless you know their names, like Jeranism or Tim Osman
Yeah, they're not
or
going to promote that
David
stuff. No, they
Weiss.
don't
They're
want
not
that.
going to
No,
promote that. No.
no, no, no.
Mhm.
That's pretty odd.
Moon denial. No, you're not going to find any of that
Well, they don't
content.
want us looking into these things like that, right? So that's why we do the shows, because we wanted to look into these things, and we want you
Yeah.
guys to see as well, at the same time. I mean,
That
yeah,
kind of led me down a rabbit hole as to, why would they want to censor flat Earth? Because, it's not necessarily a political thing. It's, the scientists or whatever, scientists and shit, they don't consider it a serious topic of discussion. Well, right. Okay. If they're not considering it a scientific topic, then why are they starting channels against flat Earth, right?
that is the question, isn't it? Because if it was just nonsense, then why
Yeah.
would they even bother, right? So
Why would they
that does
care?
make you question, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, maybe
And
that's part of the psyop, though. Maybe that is part of the psyop,
well, it is a psyop,
right? So
definitely.
yeah,
It's
I
all a
guess,
psyop, and
yeah.
there's different levels to the onion. And
Mm.
if you want to get down to the real nitty gritty, and you actually pressure one of these people to like tell you a reason, like why are they censoring flat Earth? The answer is simple: because if you can question the shape of the Earth, you can question the Holocaust, and that's what we don't want.
Yeah. Good
Right.
point.
Yeah, we
Good
don't want to
point.
look into that.
That's an actual response. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They don't. That's the whole thing. There's a lot of things that happened back in the 40s that's completely gaslit now,
Hmm.
right? And it was
Yeah.
done on purpose, and we're not allowed to talk about these things. And they keep saying we'll never forget. Well, I also say we'll never forget about what happened 4 years ago,
Hmm.
and whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of gaslighting that's been going on.
Yeah.
We just
Totally.
didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also want to actually, I don't know how long the show is going on for, but I also want to let everybody know that I will be on the R. Wayne Steiger show coming up on Friday. Good Friday. It's going to be a good Friday for me. I'll be on there, so make sure you subscribe to him if you haven't already, and tune in on Friday. Okay. We're going to be talking about the Alta Corona. That's actually the thing that Robert's wearing there, and because it's been about 3 years now since Wayne did a show about that. And that's where it all started. Once we were watching Wayne's show and we realized how powerful that symbol was, everybody got into it. And I ended up, getting the merch going and everything. That's where it all started, was on his show. So it's going to be kind of neat to go back, and we'll do a little full circle and just refresh ourselves on what the Anticorona is. Because I know our audience has changed a little bit, and a lot of people they don't know what it is. As a matter of fact, a lot of people look at it. Speaking of Germany and 40s and all this kind of stuff, people look at that and they're associating it. It kind of looks similar, right? So we need to kind of make people aware that that's not what it is, okay? And matter of fact, it's got a lot of good benefits to it. And while I'm talking that, I might as well.
Well, it's called it looks like a triskelion, and the triskelion is the national symbol for the Isle of Man.
Mm.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah, the Isle of Man symbol has doesn't it have a thing
It's
with
3
arms?
legs. It's
three legs. That's it. I was thinking of 3 arms or something like that. I knew it was 3 something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like 3 sevens. 3 sevens going, and it's it loosens up energy, and yeah. Yeah, it's neat. So, anyways, we're going to be talking all about that on Friday on his show. So,
Cool.
I
I'll
just went
watch.
to
Yeah.
click on my merch link and it just came up as something else. This is so weird. I hope I didn't get kicked off of my Streamlabs thing.
Hmm.
Oh, you know what it is? Is because I'm trying to access my merch through a different YouTube channel. It doesn't recognize it
Yeah,
as me. I'm not
that's
me
probably
anymore.
right.
That's right. I keep forgetting that. I can't even go into my own merch store now. Oh well,
Huh.
the
Yeah.
link should work for you guys though. So it is down in the description if you guys wanna.
Yeah.
I
And
can help
there's
you.
your Isle of Man. It does kind of
Nice.
look like that, doesn't it? Ain't that weird?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same shape too, because it doesn't look like a swastika because the swastika is actually inverted. Because like the Hindu swastika is the same as the Nazi swastika. It's just that it's a mirror image.
Yep. Yeah,
In other
weird.
words, it's spinning. The Nazi swastika is spinning to the left, right? Whereas the
Mhm.
Hindu swastika or this one is spinning to the right.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah,
Why do
there's
they?
a lot of sun symbol. Unfortunately, the symbol that they use is actually a very powerful symbol as well. But now it's been gaslit. Nobody can use that symbol now.
Yeah, and as you can
So
see, the Anacrona here, yep, it almost looks the same. I mean,
it's not the same. You use it the same way, essentially, right?
mhm.
So yeah, it's like a spinning wheel. It's opening up your chakras. Like I did a guided meditation. I guess you'll find that guided meditation will be up on Odyssey and Rumble. You can find it there.
Yep.
Anywhere else, it's gone now. But I did a guided meditation on how to use the symbol, like visualize it in your chakras. So we'll talk more about that on Friday, probably too. But
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, like it says,
Yeah, I
they,
wouldn't. Here in Germany, I wouldn't risk wearing that because the
no,
swastika is
right?
banned.
Yeah,
And as
yeah.
a matter of fact,
Oh
it's
yeah,
so banned that even if you're like selling, let's say Hindenburg 5 mark pieces, you have to like either digitally or physically like blot the symbol out,
yeah.
which is bullshit because that applies to like eBay, right? But if you're
Mhm.
selling on that same platform and you're selling from let's say Spain or England that doesn't have that ban, you can post the photo in full, which is bullshit because if you're a user from Germany, you pull up that auction, you're seeing that swastika. So what's the point?
mhm.
It's so
Yeah,
gaslit over there. I
It
know.
is
Nobody won the
gaslighting.
war. Yeah, it's all of a sudden. Yeah, I know.
No, they didn't. Nobody won the war because
Yeah.
Germany is still occupied. They got what 50 military bases here. They never left. The U.S. military never left.
Well, all the
yeah,
old N people. I don't want to say the word. They all went to Americas. Where do you
yeah,
That
think
too.
all your major corporations were founded on?
Well,
That
not
yeah.
just
that's your
that, but
founding fathers
all
Yeah.
right there.
all
We
of
are
Yeah.
them.
NASA, all of
Yeah.
NASA actually
Yeah.
was taken over from Germany. And as a matter of fact, the Werner von Braun, he was
Hmm.
like a major. He was like the head of a company that made missiles, right, in
Mhm.
Germany
Yeah.
under the Third Reich, and he became
Hmm.
head of NASA. And he was not a nice guy, not a nice guy at all. You know what this guy
Right.
would do? At the beginning of every shift, he would execute the worst employee from the previous shift.
Oh, geez. Wow.
Yes,
Who want to
yes,
work for him?
yeah, yeah.
Why?
And this is the guy that made like a Disney movie about space, right?
Oh, really?
So yes,
Wow.
hmm yeah,
Yeah. When you start looking into all this, even Walt
yeah,
Disney, and you just look,
yeah.
oh my
Filth,
God.
filth, pure evil. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
everywhere you
so
look.
disheartening. The people that you think are the most innocent turns out are the most evil. It's
Yeah,
it really is. It's hard for people to grasp. Like, and I don't blame people. They're going a little nuts right now. Because people are waking up right now. If you're just waking up now, it's going so fast that it can turn into anxiety and all these things. Like it's
hmm
I've at least have had a decade to kind of get to where I'm at now. I had a lot of time to digest all these things. So
cool.
I really feel for the people who are just starting to kind of wake up now. Like it's gonna be hard. And there's gonna be a
Yes.
lot of people who are just gonna exit out of here like they can't handle it.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
see.
That's true.
Especially like the younger people, the Gen Zers, because they grew up basically with the internet. And in 2012, you had the iPhone come out, and
Mhm.
ever since then, you've had near 100% uptake of the smartphone. Like nearly everybody has a smartphone,
Mhm.
so that means like especially the young people, their social lives have been replaced by like some sort of handheld thing. So I live in the downtown section of my city, and I look outside my window, and all I see is people looking at their hands. Every single one of them.
I know.
Uh, all the people walking down the street, all the people waiting at the bus stops,
Mhm.
they're all looking at their hands.
Even
Everybody's
at the restaurant, whole family sitting there eating dinner, and
yeah,
everybody's just on their phone, not even conversing. No
hmm
social time. They're
yeah.
probably texting each other across from the table. Honestly,
I've seen
like
that
that's
happen.
probably
I've seen that happen. I
Yeah,
want to
I've
show
seen
everybody. Everybody was talking about banana bread, and you're all going to be jealous because here it is. Here it is, right there. The beautiful banana bread cooked just perfect. Everybody.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, there you go.
oh,
Eat your
here
heart
it is.
out,
Ooh, what do you got?
everyone.
Cranberries in there too?
Yeah, I got cranberries. I got chocolate chips and raisins. There
Oh,
you go.
hmm
well,
Ooh,
I'm gonna
oh,
be.
that's so good.
I made some sourdough today, so I'll be cooking that up in the morning.
Ooh, I love
Fresh sourdough.
sourdough.
Yeah.
There you go. Um, but anyway, I hope that everybody's thinking about banana bread now because boy, does its aroma smell so good.
Yeah.
Well, as usual, I have a differing opinion. If it
Yeah,
tastes sweet, spit it out.
yeah.
That's what I say.
Well, I deserve a treat. It's cold outside. We're gonna have a big snowstorm tonight.
Yeah.
Come through, get maybe 8 inches of snow. The roads are gonna be
Oh,
crappy tomorrow, and I'm gonna
yeah.
pack some hot chocolate and some banana bread because I'm planning that there's gonna be problems, and I'll be out all night long.
Yeah, today was technically the first day of spring, and it was quite
I guess you
windy
don't.
and a
I was
bit
going to say. I
cold.
guess you don't want to hear about the cherry blossoms and the tulips are happening around here.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes, I'd love to hear about it. Maybe it'll warm my heart a little.
Mhm.
Well, that's why we pay the big bucks to live down here on the West Coast.
That's right. You
So,
got like this rainforest thing going on or
well,
something.
that's true. It is rainy today, so there's that. But it's still 9 degrees, so pretty warm. Compared to
Mhm.
your neck of the
Yep.
woods.
Yeah,
So,
we had 8 degrees here. Yeah, I'm still
No.
clearing out the garage for the house that I sold next door.
oh,
So
nice.
every day, yeah, house is sold, but I still don't have the money.
Oh,
But
really?
again, like with everything here in Germany, allow 6 to 8 weeks for delivery.
So
Mm.
you're
So
selling and then you're moving somewhere else, I guess.
I'm selling, and then I'm buying somewhere else.
Somewhere else. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Get out of
Yeah,
get somewhere where it's safer.
yeah, Czech Republic.
Where life is almost normal then, right?
Yeah, right. Life is totally normal. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And I
people
guess
still have
coming back here
smartphones and
is not an
everything.
option. Coming
No,
back to
no, that's
the
out of the question. No,
that's out of the
no,
question. Okay.
no.
All right.
I
Hmm.
spent 27 years of my life in New York City, and I'm not about to repeat that experience.
No, not
And
New York. That's way too crowded.
no.
And now I've heard it's just bombarded with illegal immigrants.
Yes, I
The
know,
place
I know.
has been taken over. I did the latest thing I'm seeing now is that people can just come in and take over your place, and then the police can't do anything about it. New
Yeah,
squatting laws or something rather. So even though you
Yep.
own your own place and you go away
yeah,
for a week and you come back, all of a sudden you got a whole family living there. You can't kick them out.
yeah.
It's
There
like,
was a
oh
case
my
of that
god,
that Queens woman, Adele Andaloro, where she was arrested for changing her own lock on her own front door,
yeah, yeah.
for illegally evicting an illegal squatter.
Mm.
Like this is clown
Wow.
world. This is clown world.
It is
It's like a
upside down,
rule of law
upside down world.
no
Yeah,
longer applies. No, I
no,
mean the court system has never been for the little guy. Really, it's always been about the
no,
rich guy.
yeah,
Uh,
of course.
and uh, the only people that are immune from like the effects of the court are like the super rich and the super poor, because you can't
Hmm.
sue somebody who has nothing to their name, right? You
Right.
gain nothing.
Mhm.
And it looks like a lot of these like hopeless cases are gaming the system and utilizing the loopholes in the law to get a free place to stay. But
Hmm.
as a former or current or former landlord, I'd say, yeah, there's a free place you can stay. It's called jail.
Yeah, I was listening to the show yesterday, and this guy, okay, had his own. I think it was an apartment. He
Mhm.
rented out one of the bedrooms. I don't know if it was an apartment or house. Rented out a bedroom to somebody.
Mhm.
Next thing you know, he ended up getting kicked out of his place. The guy's living there for free in his
Mhm.
place, taking over the whole place, and there's nothing the law can do about it.
Oh, and
Wow.
Like
to add insult to injury, she still
for
has to
for
continue paying
renting
for
out
the
a room.
utilities.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, he's probably still
Wow.
paying the insurance and taxes and everything. Yeah,
Yes.
like so that, wow. Yeah, I would be very leery about renting out a
No,
room
no.
after I heard that one. I'm like, holy smokes, they can just turn around and
We definitely live in bizarro world. I was
it
listening
is
to somebody talk about that too in South Africa, where they if you go, they got squatters there. So like if you got a big chunk of land, somebody can go out on your land and live there, put up a tent, and live in your woods, claim an acre or whatever they're living on, and if you don't catch them in 30 days, it's theirs.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. Like I've heard of this, they can come in and if they start fixing up things, they could even sell it. Like it was like what is going on here? Like what the heck has happened here?
Mhm.
Like this just
Mhm.
doesn't seem right to me. Like that could happen. I mean,
Bizarro world.
it is
Bizarro
really
world.
bizarre world. Like, did we wake up on a different timeline or something? Like, this is
Mhm.
not the same timeline as that we were in 20, 30 years ago. No
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe I was
Well,
just so asleep I
no,
just didn't see it.
and
But
that's the thing. Which judges did we vote in? Which congressmen? Which guys made these laws
mhm.
to like screw us, the taxpayer, over? You think
Mhm.
them people squatting in that house are paying the taxes? You're paying the taxes so that this guy in wherever he is getting paid by you, who says you got to let that guy live in your house, but you got to keep paying those taxes to him. So I got a job, and now you're what? Might as well you be the squatter and do the same damn thing. Go to somebody else's house. Pick a good rich one. The guy's
Yeah.
I
not
mean,
there for 6 months, and you pull in and say, "This is my place. I fixed a doorknob, and here's the bill, and this is what it is, and you got to let me stay here until you kick me out."
Mhm. Yeah.
it makes you wonder, like, why am I even bothered paying rent for? Maybe I should just stop paying rent. I'll just
Yeah,
squat here.
Mhm.
squat
Yeah.
there, and then when they kick you out, you grab your things and you go to a house where nobody's living for the day, and they
Go
went on
somewhere else.
vacation. You get in, and then you stay there. And I
Mhm.
think did you know there's a company out there that I looked at that there's a company in California that helps these illegal immigrants squat in people's houses. You pay them so much money and they help you find a house to squat in.
Well,
Oh,
it's all over TikTok and all over the place now. They're all posting, so everybody knows now, and they're telling people how to do this and
Yeah.
what to do, and it's going viral. And so, going back to New York, I guess I can only imagine what it's
Mhm.
like in New York right now, like with all this going on down there. You know,
Yeah. It's a
yeah,
zoo. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
that
zoo.
would be one word for it.
And
Yeah.
plus, like the United States is a police state. I mean, like I said, I
Mm.
lived there for 27 years, half my life, and I did not have a good time, really. Uh, uh, if I were to count the number of times I got pulled over, searched, frisked, uh, uh, too many to count. I mean, the only time I ever got pulled over here in Germany was for not wearing a seatbelt. Fine was $35 euros.
Hmm.
Uh, no big deal.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
over there, if you get a fine, it's like, oh my god, it's like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for the stupidest thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is backwards. Like it says, you can be on. We're talking about the censoring. Like Nina, you had your show up on YouTube, and YouTube did something. They said, "Oh my gosh, somebody told on you," but all your other ones, like on Odyssey and Rumble, they stayed up, and they like, "Oh, we went over there and told them." They went, "F you, whatever, sorry."
Well, that's
That's
also
gonna
like a
Well,
stay.
that's the thing. They're
disrespect of
not.
property rights. That's also a disrespect of property rights because that's virtual property. Like you created that, you put in your time and effort to put those videos up, to make
Mhm.
those videos, and they just like uh, throw a match to him.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's part of when we tick off. We agree when we
Yeah.
sign up for their account, and that was part of it. None of us read those things, of course, because it's a
Hmm.
mile long and in a kind of lingo that is not that familiar to us, and so we just sign it, and yeah, so I guess we just signed away our
Well, then
our
the thing
property.
is, too, though, is like if they did the horns of the goddess, for instance, we we read it as a like and commented on it. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to read this book like an audio book.
Well,
It
that's
was
it. That's what
nothing
I
like
thought
that.
that we would be okay. Like, first of all, we paid for that book. You
Yeah,
know,
Hmm.
we paid for the book, so it's not like we stole anything. We paid for the book, and we're just reading it out loud. That's all. For
and we
and
gave them
commenting,
credit.
we had all the warnings, we had all the, all that stuff.
Yeah,
So, but I mean,
Hmm.
I can't go up with those lawyers. I'll lose and
no,
probably have to end up paying the money. So I'm not going to bother
yeah.
trying to go up against them. But yeah, I
But
know it's yeah. I mean, if
that's
anything, my friend was saying, like, he ended up going to buy the book. So what we were doing here was actually giving them more business because people
yes,
are
Hmm.
now aware of the book. They went and bought the book, all of a sudden getting, like it was free advertising for them. Really,
Hmm.
yeah,
that's what it was. But
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
I guess we're
and
competition
it's
or whatever.
it was
So
yeah, it was like doing them a favor because
yeah,
it was so broken. It wasn't like, oh, we read the whole book in one episode, or we read like a chapter an episode, for an hour and a half or something like that, for God's
yeah,
sakes. And we commented and discussed it. And but you see this on YouTube a lot where some people will take other people's videos. You've seen a video inside a video, and they'll play somebody else's video halfway through, and then they'll go, oh my, or something like, can you believe this? And then they'll show their video to the side of them, but that's okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
and
yeah.
they
I'm
don't get.
wondering, is it because the YouTube videos are free? Like you can watch those YouTube videos anywhere. So, like,
Yeah,
say that we're doing right now, the Anunnaki story. I mean, that video is up for free for anybody to watch on YouTube. So, are we really copywriting then by doing what we're doing? Or I can see the book. Okay, it's up for sale. It's something that's a physical hard copy thing that you got to purchase. But a video is free for everyone. It's a public video. I
Hmm.
think we should
mhm.
be okay with that. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I agree,
Yeah,
but
because it's a derivative work. It's a derivative work. It's
yeah,
not like you're copying it or
No, I'm not
adapting
making
it
it out
into.
that it looks like it's my material, obviously, right? But
Exactly. Yeah, it's a
well, you
derivative, and
should be able
that
to
falls
use
under
it.
fair use, the fair use doctrine.
That's what I thought. You
Hmm.
know?
yeah,
Where you were basically doing an academic critique of it.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
and it wasn't like we you know we like the book. It wasn't like we shared material. I mean, we put it on the screen to read it, and then we read it, and then it was chapter at a time, and then we discuss. So, like you said, fair use. We're granted some fair use, like news. Hey, I'm commenting on the news. Somebody else did the reporting. You can't comment on that news because somebody reported it on CNN or MSN or whatever news channel you're watching. So, that's their material. You got to go out yourself and report it and document it, and then you can do it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, what's the difference?
Well, apparently, they, like I said, that user agreement or community guidelines or whatever they want to call it is so vague that basically, if they don't like you, they can take you down. They had
Hmm.
no real valid reason to take down Alex Jones, but they did it anyway.
Yeah.
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 To make a point, right? To the rest of us.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, and it's not like uh, it's not like he made any claims that he couldn't substantiate because pretty much everything he said about Sandy Hook was substantiated. The fact that there were activists who took it upon themselves to harass some people. That's not his fault.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I know, and that's the thing. But that's in good reporting. He does that opinion reporting. That's
Opinion,
what
yeah,
it is.
but see,
It's not.
but the fact of the matter remains that every single person in Sandy Hook, in that city, I forget what the name of that city in Connecticut was called. Every single person that had a mortgage had it paid off.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There was some fishy stuff going on.
Yeah.
I had a big thought about that whole thing too. And after it was all said and done, and then he got in trouble and all of this other stuff. My thought is, in the long run, did they create that whole thing to get rid of him?
Could be.
Bit
Yeah.
like a trap. We know that if we put this
Yeah.
on, we're going to win on all directions. We're going to get rid of guns, maybe, and then
Yeah.
we know who's going to bite on this subject, and it's going to be this guy. This
Yeah.
guy. We're going to leave so many loopholes and conspiracy theories open that he's going to bite,
Yeah.
and he did, and he
Yeah,
followed
yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Because
And
nobody
not
else,
just him.
everybody else goes by the narrative.
Well, Wolfgang Helbig, I mean, he did most of the legwork on that. I mean, but there was other people that were like analyzing the video footage, which didn't make sense, or the narratives that didn't make sense, the witness testimony that didn't make sense, and the other facts in the case that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like the fact that that website for that school hadn't been used in like years, right?
Yeah.
And only like in the days leading up to the event was there an uptick in like visit hits to like that website, as if somebody knew that something was going to happen. That building itself hadn't been used. It was used as like a book repository of all things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a book repository. What does that remind you of?
Yeah. Yeah. I know there's so, when it gets to these things like this, there's usually so many ties to other people and other things that it just resonates like bad mojo. Like what was it? Kennedy. I was listening to Dark Journalist the other day, and he was talking about how Kennedy was on his way to Texas. He was going to be talking with a guy about who did some UFO work stuff, and he went to Antarctica with Admiral Byrd. But then it turns out that his Admiral Byrd's cousin owned the books of repository.
Yeah. There's a lot of
talk about the intertwined.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't make this up. It's just so intertwined. Everybody's involved
in on it.
Yeah. I mean, such a tight-knit thing. Like, the guy who shot Oswald was tied in with the mob, who was tied in, and he had links. I mean, it's just like a nasty web they weave. And it just makes you go, oh my goodness. It is like a little group of people planned this whole thing, and everybody had a little part to play, and they're in a club and we're not in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That whole story also doesn't make any sense if you analyze it from like the published news reports and the accepted mainstream media reportage. It doesn't make any sense. And if Alex Jones was around at that time, he would have jumped on that case just like he did on Sandy Hook, and would have exposed it right from the get-go.
Yeah.
It would have been censored just as he was in 2015 or 2016.
Yeah.
It's funny how a lot of people now, other channels, they're like, oh, yeah, it looks like Alex Jones was right after all. A lot of his things that he talked about years ago are all coming to pass now.
So, yeah, it is. It's kind of weird how that happens. And, we, I think, as a people, mostly want to, we know, I think in deep down in our gut, we know something's weird and that really didn't happen, or did it. But then the thing is everybody's saying it did, and then you wonder, which one do I believe? And it sits you on the fence and confuses a person, because you got everybody, do you go with the crowd and be the good, I'm going to be over here, nobody's going to notice me? Or am I going to stick out like an Alex Jones and then be over in that crowd where everybody's going to notice you, and you're going to get banned from everything? Sure, you get banned, but now you can't. You're out of business.
Yeah.
He almost did go out of business.
Yeah, I know. And that
Mhm.
that judgment against him, which was like what,
$1 billion.
900 something $1 million? Like
$1
what?
billion almost.
The
Where
guy
did they
doesn't even
come up
have
with?
that kind of money. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. How did
Yeah.
they come up with that figure? I
yeah.
mean, where's the formula for that? How did they figure that out? That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
You owe us $1 billion.
It's just
Why
like
don't
the
they
whole,
just say you
just
owe
like
us
the
$1
whole
trillion? Nobody's ever gonna.
trillion. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
Billion
just like the
trillion.
whole Trump thing. I mean, that's a witch hunt if I ever saw one. And speaking of Trump, I mean, I know a lot of people in the United States. I know a lot of people on both the left and the right, and
Mhm.
I don't know a single person who voted for shithead. I
Mhm.
don't. I do not. Okay, but I know a lot of people who voted for Trump.
Yeah. Hmm. But apparently he didn't get any just like we didn't get any views. Hey,
Yeah, yeah. Didn't
it's like
happen.
Mhm.
like tonight. It's telling me I had 30 people in watching, and when I get all done, I click the thing and it says you got 3 views.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was like me too. I know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're being
I mean, you just get to wondering who's pushing the buttons and how much you are really censored. We got to take it
Yeah,
with
it
a grain of salt.
makes people self-censor, and it makes you start questioning your own sanity. Like, am I
Yeah.
crazy or whatever? No, if you're watching this, no, you are not crazy, because I'm not crazy, right? And neither of you are crazy. So,
Mhm.
and there's
Yeah.
other people like us. We're not the only ones.
Yeah. But we've been gaslit that we're crazy though, right? So that's
Exactly.
the problem, right? So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
turns out, the black sheep and whatever, they probably are the ones that actually are the most sane, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Labeled, put in a corner, and put to the side. But Nina, I got to give it to you. You got to come back. And you're going to come back harder and stronger than ever. And we're all behind you. And so far, we've gotten you. Let's see how many. Drum roll, and you're up to 14 subscribers.
Oh,
There you
wow.
go, 14
It's going to take a
subscribers.
while, but like I said, I think having the 2 different channels, and I was kind of like all over the place. It was kind of confusing the audience. So I think it's good now. We're just concentrating on the Mystic stuff, Hump Day, and everything over on Patreon. Like I said, it's free to sign up for the Patreon, and Hump Day will still be free over there. Okay, so if you're enjoying the Hump Day, go over to the Patreon, sign up for that. And then I think I'm going to be doing the Rumble. And that way I'll have you on and I'll have you both on, and we can sit and talk about whatever we want to over there. And I've seen
Yes.
other people, they're like, wow, look at all these people. Like, they're coming, like, you're not shadow banned there. So
Mhm.
you can reach all kinds of people that we just don't on YouTube. We think
Mhm.
we are, but we're not. We're not. Our channels aren't growing. I look at Wayne as well. Like, he's been at about 45 for how long now?
That's
Like,
right.
it's
Yeah.
not
He's
growing,
yeah,
and
he's been
so
on
yeah,
YouTube for like 10 years.
I
He
know.
started out with 45,000, and he's still at 45,000 to this
It's still
day.
at
That
the
makes
sort of
no
like he's
sense.
very slow, right? And
And
so
and
it's not
he's
like
and
that.
he's doing lives every single day.
Every single day. He should have like so
Yeah,
many freaking, right?
I know.
So that's the thing. And I think once we move and we start seeing that, we're going to be so much more relaxed about it all, right? Yeah, it sounds kind of scary right now because we're so used to this YouTube and everybody's here and we're all feeling safe over here, but not really, because we're all seeing all the numbers being fudged. We see people getting, all kinds of things happening all the time. So we're not
Mhm.
actually very secure over here.
No,
We'll be
no.
way more secure over there. It's going to be a way better show over there,
Mhm.
and yeah, we're going to have real numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm excited about it, and so I hope you guys are too. And so make sure, subscribe to my YouTube here. I don't know if it's going to be up tomorrow. You just don't know. I don't know, but if it is, I'll probably go live there, if I'm able to. And but I'll
Mhm.
still be going live on Patreon as well, so that you guys can get the shows there. I kind of want to just move over to the alternative platforms, I think, more or less.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Come over to YouTube, make an announcement that you're going to be over
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah.
then go over there. And leave a link and say, hey, you know, I'm going to be live or over there at such and such time. Join me tonight. And people will click on and go, oh, yeah, I better tune in over there and click.
So I'm on all the different ones, like Twitter. I'm pretty sure Twitter seems, I haven't had anything from Twitter. So I can go live on Twitter. I've been going live on Twitter for quite a while now with my hump day. So you can go and watch them there as well. I'm assuming they're still up on there. Same with Facebook. So I've been going live there as well. So all the shows are still up on Facebook as far as I know. That might be gone though. They were threatening to anyways. And then Instagram, well, if Facebook goes, Instagram probably will too. So, you know, but that's, I do post some stuff there, but mainly just to let you guys know that, hey, we're going live, you know, or we're going to be doing this, doing that, you know, just some announcements, whatever. And so, yeah, so go and check out all the links down below in the description, please.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And with that, remember, everybody, you go over to the Max Vision's channel. He's doing some remote viewing tonight. And check him out. I don't have a link here at the moment, but, you know, check him out. And go over to Nina's Patreon. It's right here in the chat. And it's in the description below. So make sure you sign up for all our channels. And we want to see you get to Nina. I'm glad we got on here. And let's do one more refresh. And let's see what we got. Let's see. 15 subscribers. There we go. Look at that. 15
Thanks, everybody.
Subscribers and 15. Woohoo!
In dog years, that would be 100, right?
There you go.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, it's a good thing. And you went from you know, 0 to 15 in what, few hours.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
And you know, we can. I hope people watch us in the future and they, you know, sub to you, get on the Patreon, sub there. Like you said, it's free. The links are in the description. Go buy some merch. Get yourself one of these nice Anakarana shirts. They don't have the hats, but you know, an Anakarana shirt's good. And I got a long sleeve one too, and I like it. Well, it's cold here, so I gotta have a long sleeve. But they got shirt sleeves too, and they got cups.
Well, there's all kinds. Yeah, we got you know, some parts is getting warm. As spring is here, so we do have tank tops and ladies merch and cups and you name it, man. I got everything with the Antakarana. And like I said, I'll be on the R. Wayne Steiger on Friday. We're going to talk all about the Antakarana. So for those of you who don't know what it is, tune in for that. Get yourself a little awareness of what the Antakarana is all about. And then if you want some more in your life, well, I'm the only one that sells it. So there you go. It's the only place you're going to find
one and only. One and only. Oh, you're up to 16 now. 16 subscribers. Share the truth to subscribe. There you go. Woohoo! You're the big 16. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, with that, remember, everybody, you know, go out, subscribe, be nice to your neighbor. Let's help the rest of us out. We're all in this together. Join hands. Do what we can. You know, we can't like help each other build a house. We can't help each other this way or that, but we can hit that button to help Nina out. And I'm sure you guys would do the same for me if I ever lost my channel here, which you never know. It could be any day. And go subscribe to our links and our channels and all of those things, because our backups especially, because you never know when they're going to disappear. And then you'll get there and go, oh, it's just been removed. No more Milky Way. What happened? No more Nina. What happened? And they could do it in an instant. It was just poof, they're gone. Sorry. You know,
before you even get out of bed in the morning, it's just gone. So yeah, thank goodness for Rumble and Odyssey. So go and check us out there, because all my stuff is still up there. So if you missed the round table or is anything that, you know, it's all there. So just go and check it out. Yeah.
That's right. Well, with that, remember, thank you, Delabor, and thank you, Nina. And remember, everybody, go out and be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. Love y'all. Peace, everybody.
Bye.
Later.